Daniel Harwood had always pictured his life unfolding in neat, steady lines. A career he could take pride in, a wife who looked at him as though he hung the stars, a warm home tucked away in a quiet cul-de-sac with a porch swing, and a loyal dog that only barked when needed. To anyone else, it would have seemed like a dream. For a while, it truly was. Sarah had been everything he thought love was meant to be. Kind, bright, quick to laugh, the sort of woman who hugged like she never wanted to let go, someone whose presence alone filled a house with life. They had plans, rituals, playlists, even a shared silence that felt intimate. They understood each other, or at least Daniel believed so. Then the change crept in. At first it was small, so small it felt trivial to question. Missed calls explained away with, "I was busy." Nights she came home late, kissed him on the cheek without meeting his eyes, disappearing into the shower before dinner. He told himself it was stress, like any trusting husband would. But underneath, a quiet ache began to gnaw at him. Started with her phone. Once carelessly left on counters, now always in her grip, screen down, locked tight. She smiled less. Conversations thinned. The closeness didn't end with a bang. It just faded like something quietly dying. When Daniel asked, she dodged. When he pressed, she twisted the blame. And still he wanted to believe. Still he hoped he was wrong, until the night he wasn't. Sarah left her phone charging in the living room. Buzzed once, then again. Daniel sat staring at it, his heart pounding like an alarm. 5 minutes passed before he picked it up. What he saw broke him. There was Tom. Not just in messages, but in photos, in plans, in words no wife should whisper to another man. Nicknames, late-night meetings, screenshots of hotel rooms, even blurred selfies of bedsheets and skin. Her betrayal was complete. His hands shook, his breathing shallow. The world didn't shatter loudly. It split quietly, clean and sharp. That night, he didn't confront her. He didn't yell, didn't throw a thing. Instead, he stood at the window, watching the trees sway in the night wind. Something inside him hardened. Not anger, not chaos, clarity. If she was going to break her vows, then she would feel the weight of them. The next morning, he hired a private investigator. Quiet man, no questions, only results. Within days, Daniel had more proof. Photos of Sarah and Tom in hotels, holding hands in airports, laughing across candlelit tables. Receipts, timestamps, GPS pings. Undeniable. Her affair wasn't careless. It was deliberate, constant. Daniel didn't cry. He took notes. He gathered everything, emails, backups, voicemails that made him sick. He labeled the folder closure, but he had no intention of ending it quietly. Then came the plan, not rash, not petty, but deliberate. He convinced Sarah to host a dinner party. "You've been working so hard," he told her. "Let's celebrate with the people who love us." She glowed, unaware, eager. She planned menus, music, lighting. She kissed him again like old times, and it made his skin crawl. The night came. Their house glowed with fairy lights. Laughter filled the rooms. Sarah wore the necklace he had given her on their 5th anniversary. She looked stunning, proud, as if nothing was broken, as if she hadn't torn their marriage apart behind his back. Daniel moved through the crowd with practiced ease, his mask flawless. He poured drinks, offered smiles, waited. Then, at the height of the night, he tapped his wine glass. The chatter hushed. "I just want to thank everyone for being here," he began, voice calm, warm even. "It means a lot to us. To me." He turned to Sarah, smiling faintly. "We've had a journey, haven't we?" Her eyes shone, unsuspecting. Without breaking eye contact, Daniel reached under the serving table and pulled out a thick manila envelope. He placed it in front of her. "Here's to honesty," he said. Confused, Sarah opened it. Out slid divorce papers, followed by evidence. Photos, messages, receipts. The color drained from her face. Her hands trembled as she flipped through sheet after sheet. Gasps rippled through the room. Daniel stood still. "For those wondering, yes, it's exactly what it looks like," he said evenly. "This is the woman I thought I'd grow old with. And this is the man she risked it all for. His eyes found Tom, pale and stiff by the fireplace. "You want to run, don't you?" Daniel said flatly. "By the way, your wife gets a copy too." Tom stumbled, muttered nothing, then bolted out the door. Sarah stood surrounded by people she once called friends. Mascara streaked down her face. "Please, Daniel, just you and me. Let's talk," she begged. "No," he answered coldly. "You already said enough, behind my back." He signaled the lawyer, who handed sealed envelopes to certain guests. "Evidence," Daniel explained, "in case anyone still doubts." The crowd stayed silent, uneasy witnesses to her unraveling. In the days after, Sarah's world burned. Her name spread, no longer with respect but with shame. Friends cut ties. Colleagues avoided her. Even family turned away. Tom's marriage collapsed. His career crumbled. Karma moved fast, almost eager. Daniel, meanwhile, stayed quiet. He didn't boast, didn't post. He simply moved forward. He bought a small condo by the water. Sparse furniture, clean lines, peace. His mornings were calm, his coffee strong. He didn't date right away, he wasn't ready. But he was no longer broken. He was rebuilding day by day. Sometimes he thought back to that night. The look in Sarah's eyes when the truth landed. Not guilt, not sorrow, fear. Because she never thought the man she underestimated for years would be the one to finally see her clearly. Daniel had given her everything. And when it was time to stop, he didn't shout. He let the truth speak louder than pain ever could. She was right about one thing. He wasn't dramatic or reckless. He was worse. He was patient. And that's why she never saw it coming.